MLB Now, presented by Olive Garden. Back with John Heyman and Dan O'Dowd. I'm Brian Kenny. So the Dodgers, thank goodness they're back. I was feeling terribly for them.
You were.
Poor guys.
Yeah.
They go out. Shohei Ohtani, after sitting for 2 days, 6 for 13 over the weekend. Roki Sasaki came back. His ERA was terrible. Had a breakout game, 7 innings, 1 run, had 8 strikeouts, no walks for him. Dodgers sweep the Angels. They're still a half game up on San Diego, who also swept as they start a 3-game series. But Dan, we'll start with you. If you see, like, Yamamoto's got a 3.60, he's gold. Ohtani is about the best pitcher in the game. Glasnow, who's hurt, was excellent. All right, so Sheehan and Robleski is great. Sheehan is the only guy that's getting blown up. Sasaki, who had a 5, now looks like a killer. If Sasaki is pitching great, the rest of the league is going to have a lot of problems with that, right?
They are, but I'm worried about their depth that everybody's so envious of.
You got 6 guys up there.
Yamamoto.
How much depth did you want?
Okay, let me explain.
All right.
Yamamoto's thrown a ton of stressful pitches over the last 2 years.
Okay.
Ohtani's never pitched an entire year start to finish healthy.
Okay.
Start to finish. Now, last year he started late.
Okay.
Glasnow's never stayed healthy. You don't know if you're getting Snell back from his surgery. Robleski's never pitched a full year at the major league level yet.
Okay.
And Sasaki's never pitched a full year at the major league level yet. And their depth below that
they need
has
help.
been.
They're in bad shape. They're in terrible shape. No, you're right. But it's like, think of these problems that they have. These high-end guys that, he's been hurt. He's healthy now, but what if he gets hurt?
Dan's amazing. He knows something about everybody. It's incredible, but I'm not going to spend my time worrying about the Dodgers. I mean, they have the most quality starts by far in baseball. They do what they need to do, and they don't feel like they need to put the pedal to the metal throughout the entire season. If they need to rest Ohtani for a little while, they'll probably do it, although he has the final say on everything, I'm sure.
And there's volatility. To your point, Dan, there's volatility. That's what they do. High-risk guys. That's what they have. No, to your point. We had Joey Votto's going to be doing a segment with us every week.
That's great. He's very good.
And last week he said, I just want to talk Ohtani. And we asked about Ohtani and his struggles. He went in-depth on a lot of things. Here's what he had to say this week about Ohtani, though.
He's 1 game away from all of a sudden, passing the 500, 550 slug and entering into the 950, 1,000 OPS territory. And then what is there to worry about with him? Right now, I see it.
Well, we lost the rest of it there. That was Joey on Friday. He had a lot of things about bat plane and straight angles, the ball flying straight off the bat, and a lot of the high, deep stuff. But essentially, he was saying he's not hitting the fastball high and away. Once he starts getting to that, you have nowhere to go on Ohtani.
I mean, he's the best hitter in that league. I mean, I'm not going to say anybody's better than Judge, so not a shocker. I mean, this was like a big brother versus small brother matchup, just like we had in New York, and that was a total shocker the way that turned out. This one, Dodgers outscored him 31-3. I mean, Ohtani's great, and what a great analysis. I was here that day. It was brilliant stuff. Only Dan would have understood 100% of it, but it was good stuff.
It's very wonky,
I learned a
but
lot.
it was good. But, again, he's a hitting savant. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I would love to ask Joey, you think some of his inability, movement pattern-wise at the plate, which makes him so unique, is because of fatigue? So if the Dodgers recognized that they're going to have to build now around Ohtani more of a rest and recovery model because of the effort that he's put on in pitching, the bullpen he throws in between starts, and how they can create him to be more efficient from an offensive approach, because he does have to move correctly in the box. He's not an elite bat-the-ball guy. He's so good because he puts his bodies in position to execute the gifts that he has. When you're physically tired, like catchers are a lot, you have a very difficult time doing that. So I think not hitting him on the days that he pitches, maybe they'll start resting him on the day after he pitches.
Right. Not smart. And he was playing like 157, 150. You don't quite need that.
No, I don't.
Pitching and hitting, you can back off and do 149, God forbid.
I mean, they're great at backing off. They back off. Last year they backed off on Snell, and then he came in the playoffs and he was at lights out. So they back off. They can.
My next essay will be with a golden goose behind. Don't throw the golden goose in the oven. And as human beings, what do we want to do? Oh, those eggs are great. Throw it in the oven. That's what we want. Don't do that. Dodgers and Padres start this weekend. So here we go. First matchup between these two rivals, and it's Yamamoto versus Michael King tonight. So that's a marquee matchup. Dan, I told you, I wrote something on the Padres last week saying they have not let the Dodgers, financially or roster-wise, run away from them forever. The Padres have hung in even when they've had to make a couple of trims on the budget.
Well, last year, I think, if I'm correct, didn't they finish 3 games behind the Dodgers?
3 and then 5 the year
before. And
before.
they went 9-4 in this matchup last year. Dodgers went 9-4 versus the Padres. So really, they lost the division because of their matchups in the season. If they split those games, or if they went 5-4 themselves, they win the division last year. So the margin for error between these two teams, I think, is not as great as everybody thinks.
Yeah, Padres are fascinating. I mean, to be 10 games over now with only a +7 run differential, maybe a little worrisome, but I'll say this. Their big stars really haven't produced like we know that they can.
They're not getting...
Merrill, Machado,
it's puzzling.
Tatis.
But they have one thing the Dodgers don't have. Miller.
Yeah.
Like every
Made a big
game that the
difference.
Padres are winning late,
Yeah.
they got the best closer in the game.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, he's striking out 19 per 9 at this point.
19?
19 per 9 innings.
He doesn't walk anybody either.
No, he's got 6
Everyone
walks, 44 strikeouts.
6 walks, 44 strikeouts.
Not, by the way, for you kids out there, 9 per 9 used to be a big thing, like in the damn police.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
19 in there. All right, when we come back, here come the White Sox. All right, welcome back. It's MLB Now, presented by Olive Garden. Wow, that's a new intro for Cup of Joe right there. We welcome in Joe Madden. Joe, did you see it? You see what we just did?
That takes some talent right there, brother.
We used to have a thing where you're sitting there and it's a computer and we had a little strumming of the guitar. Take a look again.
Yeah.
This is cool.
No, I saw it, yes.
It's like where they do a little foamy latte and you're right on the top.
Love it. That's talent right there, brother. That's absolute talent.
And yet we're in and out, and although I'm talking about it now, so I'm belaboring it here. Joe, welcome back, by the way. John likes that.
Thank you, buddy. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. We were talking Phillies and Don Mattingly, and I'm wondering, let me get right to it. If, let's say I'm a club president, I hire you to, hey, Joe, evaluate my manager. What would you be looking for in making an evaluation?
Well, I mean, I like an inquisitive nature. I like somebody that's not necessarily old or new school, somebody that's more like in school, somebody that's collaborative, somebody that wants to utilize both sides of the current trends. And on top of that, somebody with experience. To me, when you talk about the word experience or intuition, gut feeling, whatever you want to call it, I mean, that occurs during the course of the game. That's another method of analytics. When things hit the fan, how do you react in a moment? I want somebody that's nimble. And if he has the experience, and I've noticed intuitive thinking on his part, et cetera, then I'm getting somebody complete. So a collaboration, old and new, be in school. Don't be polarized and feel like you have to be one thing or the other.
Right.
And experience matters, man. I'm telling you, when things go off script in the latter part of the game, especially, you like somebody that could think ahead, and thinking ahead is a big part of this also.
It is something, good answer, by the way. I love that. Mattingly, I always had a good feeling for. And I know, like, when he was managing, it was like, BK, he's old school. You're not going to dig him. And I'm like, I spoke to him. He's baseball brilliant. Like, he has his mind on so many different things, and he was brilliant as a player. So I think you're right. Don't go old school, new school, anything like that. It is odd that they fire Joe Girardi, bring in Rob Thompson, it works. They fire Rob Thompson, bring in Mattingly, it works. Like, what, does everybody just need a slap in the face, even a veteran club like the Phillies?
Yeah, and I think they're, like I think I mentioned it before, I thought they were embarrassed, the Philly players themselves. They like, Robbie. They like Girardi. And all of a sudden you get a guy like Donnie who's very similar to Robbie. It's not like, back in the day it had to be some like polar opposite from the fire to the new hire. But you're getting people that really are cut from the same cloth with both Robbie and Donnie. And listen, I've been around Mattingly. I'm a big fan, and I agree with your assessment. I've been around him. I've had conversation with him. I've worked against him. Just because he's not, verbose. He's always out there, banging his own drum. He's in there paying attention, listening. Obviously, he's had a great background, my God. So I'm a big Don Mattingly fan. It's not surprising me at all.
Yeah, no, I am too. So, by the way, so is everybody in the industry. That's what I don't get about the Hall of Fame. Everyone, he's the standard. It's the absolute standard. I'm happy to see the success now. Joe, you were a player and a coach in the bushes for a long time. So this is where I want you. Not Joe Madden, the celebrity manager. Joe Madden grunting it out in his, cruddy old Volkswagen, driving out west in the Independent League. I want your baseball coach take on that Yankee play that ended the game yesterday. It hit me when Volpe ran into Max Schumann here. It just struck me. It's like, this is a bad baseball play, right? Like, I know the game is on the line. He's trying to make a play. Give me your read on it and what guys are supposed to do in this instance.
Yeah, this is a 5-man infield. We worked on it during spring training. So left-handed hitters are going to be stacked on that first base side. I get all of that. And there's also one out. So with one out, there's also the potential for a regular double play from second to first base to get out of the inning. So all these things matter. Now, what you're talking about there, specifically left-handed batter, the second baseman Schumann's coming in. He's got a much better angle to pick up that ball and throw it to home plate. The shortstop coming across like that, like you suggested earlier, cutting across in front of the infield. He has no throw. Even if Volpe plays that ball cleanly, he has no play. So the angles matter, handedness matters in this situation. So permit him. Now, my overarching point is, you do this in spring training. When I was with the Rays and the Cubs, we did this, and the Angels. I always worked it because I had it back in the day with Gene Mauch. Gene's the first guy that I spoke to about it. So these are the kind of things that you not only do in spring training more than once, and then during the course of the season, you have to revisit it on occasion to remind everybody. But that, to me, is just a handedness play, and that's just common sense. Actually.
And training, right? Because I always hear from baseball guys who are here, right? From Harold and Bill Ripken, everything is like, hey, just because you can reach the ball doesn't mean it's your ball. Right?
Right. I mean, priorities. There's always priorities. It's like a right-handed right fielder coming at a ball to right center, and a left-handed or a right-handed center fielder going towards that gap. It's a hard throw. He's got to spin and throw it. So handedness always plays into this, and this is a part of the conversation when you're working drills during spring training. So these players have to be hyper aware of those moments. What arm do I throw with? Where's the ball hit? Who has the better angle to make this throw with more on it? And that was simple. The second baseman had that yesterday.
Now, Joe, Cleveland is a very forward-thinking club, right? They finally changed their leadoff man over the weekend. I don't think they gave it to the right guy. Now, there must be reasons for this, and maybe there is. But they moved Stephen Kwan off of leadoff. He led off all of last year. He's been struggling all year. They lead off Daniel Schneemann, and I'm always like, rarely do you have a guy like sitting there, like Travis Bazzana, brand spanking new, batting sixth. He's got a 4.11 on base. Also, he doesn't slug, even better. Also, he's 7 for 8 in steals, like even better. So so his production comes from his walks and his eye, and he's fast, and he's brand spanking new, and he's springing. They have the perfect leadoff guy. We put up the leadoff candidates here so you could see. There's the on base and the slugging. Give me your read on who should be leading off and why they chose not to do Bazzana as of yet.
See, for me, the first thing to look at would be the on-base percentage side, and you're seeing that right there. They have several candidates. I like on base, and that's like when I even moved up Schwarber back with the Cubbies, I really thought that he would get on base, and of course, then he's going to hit for power on occasion. It could be 1-0, or at least you're going to have a runner at first base. So I prefer at least 35% or higher, hopefully 36, 37% on base percentage. And then power is really nice. If you could have power, that's wonderful too, obviously. And
but you don't want to waste power. You know, like Bazzana is giving you the 4.11. How about 41% and no power? Like, he's perfect.
Yeah. He's perfect. He is perfect. Listen, I haven't watched him. I saw him the other day. He looks pretty good, but that's the number one reason why you put somebody number one. And if somebody's just, mildly on base or decently on base, put him in a 9-hole coming up to a number one guy with power. See, that's why I like to stack the bottom of orders. If you have that guy, when I hit the pitcher 8th and somebody else 9th in the National League a couple years ago, I wanted somebody with the higher on base in the 9-hole. That way, when you put these more prolific sluggers towards the top, hopefully they have more opportunities with somebody on base.
God bless you. National League Baseball. Nobody even knows what you're talking about. What are you even talking? Pitcher hitting. What's Joe Mann even talking about? Did they ever do that?
Best? It was the best. It was the best.
It was the best.
It was the best.
And it's
I'm serious.
gone. Excellent.
Never see it again.
And he ain't coming back, as they said in Goodfellas. He's gone, and he ain't coming back. All right, Joe, great having you on. Thank you so much.
Be well, buddy. Good to see you, man.
You
Thanks.
too. Coming up, Roki Sasaki looks great again. Shohei Ohtani is hitting again. And what Joey Votto saw for Shohei Ohtani and what he did this weekend. That's next.